Hey there, EFCA West. I hope your week is off to a fantastic start. It's morning here. We're meeting with our team in person like we do every other month, and I'm drinking from this lovely coffee mug that I got from Taft Avenue Community Church. Look at that. It's in orange. And see, there's an orange right there, and it says love. How cool is that? And it's very nice. Look at that coffee. They gave me one, actually. Dr. Craig Hill, who's just been recently, last couple of years, at Taft Avenue Church, and I had such a good time getting to know him, and he is doing a great job there. And several other guys I had the chance to meet last week as well for the first time. Jeff Tacklin from Church by the Sea in Laguna Beach. Man, that dude, he was a fun guy to get to know. And if you haven't got to meet him, send him a note, whatever. Hopefully you'll get a chance to meet everybody at our conference coming up. I also had the chance to meet Mike Kaylani from Beach Bible Church. I went over there and hung out with him for a little while as well. And again, relatively new, just a few years old, big vision for Huntington Beach. And I was just excited to get to know him. And then I caught up with John Schaefer from Fullerton Free. And man, I love that guy. And I tell you, what God is doing in EFCA West, even in the midst of the pandemic, I just love hearing the stories. But here's one thing, as this big giant trash truck drives by, thanks for that. Perfect timing. Wow. Of all the times for a trash truck to drive by, what are you going to do? Doesn't matter. Here's the point. I've come to this conclusion. If you are getting hit from both sides, you ready for this? From the right and the left, on politics, on the coronavirus, on the racial stuff, if you're getting criticism from both sides of the issue, guess what? I think it means because you're doing something right. You're probably doing the right thing. Seriously. Because people just feel like they can, you're a pastor and you should be able to solve all their problems, right? Like, oh yeah, he can take it, so I'm just gonna write him an email. They used to call them flame mails, you ever gotten a few of those? Like, you don't know what you're doing, and why aren't you more like this guy down the street, and why don't you take a stand, and why are you bowing the knee to the governor or this person, or why are you taking on the rules of man as opposed to the rules of God? Listen, hang in there with all that stuff, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, if you're taking it from both sides, it's probably because you're doing something right. This is pretty good, by the way, this coffee. The next thing I want to tell you is last week I mentioned that, because I was in Westminster, Orange County, California, because there's a church that's going to be voting pretty soon to join us. And I said it's because they just love what's happening with EFCA. Well, what I didn't tell you was last week we actually had a church officially join us called Anchor Point in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. And it's all official now. It's been in the works for a long time. Pastor Dan Cooley, Anchor Point Church, Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Please shoot him an email and welcome him to our family, to our tribe. Again, another pastor I've just had the privilege to get to know. And I'm so excited about this new congregation that's coming in. And what's the point? EFCA West is growing, baby. It's growing. And I'm fired up about that. Even in the midst of these challenges, people are realizing what? We're better together. Now, because there's a lot of love. See? Love. Finally, man, there's so many things to tell you about. Don't forget our podcast page. Don't forget the polity class coming up. We've already made the case for that. And I just want you to be encouraged to take the slings and arrows if you're taking them. It's going to work out. God's still there, and He's using you in more ways than you can imagine. So don't forget His love. Okay, have a fantastic week, and we'll catch up with you soon.